What's up, guys? What's up? Oh, man. It's been a long few days. How's everybody doing? It is Monday night. It is time for the 27th episode of Air Marshal Mondays. So, it's good to see everybody. So unfortunately all my beer is warm right now. I need to get it in the refrigerator. I think I got 2 in the refrigerator. But man, the boys at Jet Jam sent me home with more beer than I brought. So I'm good on beer for like another week. Maybe like 3 days. So it's good to see everybody. Wild Bill, Victor, Matthew, Randy the Bear Wrestler, Shadow Ops, Arizona Desert Jets, TNRC Pilot, Mike SSI. It's good to see everybody. Daryl, how you doing today? Spencer Keith, Jackson RC Aviation, my man, how you doing? Dennis Farley. Sometimes it's good to see you. It depends on what you say. Oh, Jeff in Lower Alabama. We got a good group of folks. Uh-oh. We had a little bit of a hiccup there, but it looks like everything's back to normal. My generator, that wasn't mine, man. So I might snore a little bit. So what's behind me? This is my fancy Free Wing Blue Angels F-18 that I had contemplated bringing to Jet Jam, but I decided against it because I would have been way too tempted to fly it, which would have most certainly ended up in disaster. Oh, let's see. I'm pretty sure. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see the racing stripe? That crap's pretty funny. That may have been my bottom, making noise that's similar to what a generator makes. Or it may have been my snoring. Apparently, it sounds like I'm cutting down trees. So, Troy Craig, whatever Dave put in my mouth, I don't know what it was, man. And I'm all right going the rest of my life without knowing what it was. I'll be all right. George Watts, good to see you. Channel 6 Flaps, how you doing? Yeah, the live stuff, a lot of times, I mean, obviously that was very impromptu. I just wanted to do something so you guys could kind of see what was going on. And I mean, that whole weekend was a good time, man. From the time we got there on Wednesday to the time I left on Sunday morning, it was a good time from start to finish. There was nothing bad. Even with the occasional, incident on the flight line, with people wrecking planes or whatever. I mean, it only got sour for a few moments and then everything went right back to, the happy times that we were having. And I mean, there were, Jet TJ5. I mean, there was a lot of carnage. There was probably easily $10,000 worth of planes wrecked. Um, Quite a few F-14s, F-18s, F-15s, all free wing. You know, each one of those racking up a good five, six, $700 toll when you start adding everything together that was lost. Um, you know, there was a lot of accidents. Fortunately, I didn't see a lot of the. I don't know. I think there actually was one HSD plane that got got beat up pretty bad. Yeah, that BVM. There was a BVM composite F-18 that took off. Uh, they lost something. Not long after takeoff, a piece of the plane flew off, and I can't. I don't know if that was a horizontal or a vertical stab, um, but it was it was a shame to see that plane go down. I'm not sure exactly how much damage it took. I'm sure it took quite a bit, but the way the plane went down, they were trying to regain control of it, and it went out over a cornfield, and it kind of went into like a flat spin, and it kind of pancaked right down on the cornfield. So, I never got to see the plane, like the aftermath of the plane after they brought it back. But it wasn't. It didn't look like it was. It was horribly bad. But I don't know. Maybe some of the other folks that were here um, can see or let me know. If they ever saw that BVM F-18 after they got it back from the cornfield. I don't know what it looked like. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Spencer crashed a few planes, and I mean, the Avanti was pretty much a loss. His F-15 uh, is probably repairable with a fuse, and what else got hit? The F-18, yeah. So the F-18, I think that one's probably repairable too with a new fuse. So hopefully you'll be good to go, man. You'll be able to get all those planes back up in the air. Let's see. Yeah, there was a lot of F-14s at Jet Jam. I'll tell you what had to have been the most popular airframe at Jet Jam this year was the T-33 in all of its different forms. So there was quite a few, more than I expected to see. To be honest with you, there was quite a few HSD T-33s. There was probably 8 HSD T-33s there. Um, there was a few of the HSD F-16s as well. Great planes. Don't let anybody tell you that the HSD T-33 is underpowered. They're doing something wrong. They didn't calibrate their ESC. They're doing that. That plane has plenty of power. Um, let's see. The free wing T-33, there was also a ton of those there. It was a very popular airframe for this particular show. There were a lot of A-10s uh, in in two particular sizes. I didn't see a lot of the twin, or I didn't see a lot of the twin 70s, like the FMS. I did see a lot of the 80 mil, the twin 80 free wing A-10s, and I saw quite a few of the twin 64 E-flight A-10s. Let's see. Yeah, that HSD T-33 is a pretty impressive airplane. We've all seen the video footage of them, but until you really have it sitting in front of you, I mean, you just can't appreciate how big that plane is. That is a big. I mean, that's probably a 6 foot long. The fuselage is probably 5.5, 6 feet long, and the wings are even longer. I mean, it's a big airplane. It's probably the fuse is probably 10 inches wide, and taller. Probably a foot tall. That's a big airplane. Oh yeah, yeah, it's got plenty of power. I can't remember who I saw. Um, eh, Somebody complaining about the HSD T-33 not having enough power. That plane's got plenty of power. I mean, the folks that I saw flying it were putting it through its paces, and it did not seem to disappoint. Yes, yes. So there was a lot of cool stuff happening there. There was every day Horizon was doing a raffle at like 10 o'clock or noon. Every day Horizon was doing a raffle at noon where I think the first day they gave away like a UMX MiG, and the second day they gave away a 64 millimeter F-16, and the third day they gave away a 64 millimeter F-15. And that was pretty cool. And then on the last day, they had like an awards dinner thing for, I don't know how you get entered into these awards. Dave Kowalski won one, and I'm glad he did, because I'll tell you, Dave Kowalski is a great dude. All these folks are great dudes, like George Watts, Dave Kowalski, Spencer Keith, Ryan, Dave's RC, man, Bobby K, Adam. There was a lot of folks there. Um, Andy Davis, great guy. These are all just cool folks. Um, and I don't know how I expect people's personalities to come across when I meet them, but everybody was just a joy to be with. It was a cool weekend overall, and I was super happy. So I'll tell you what, my little F-15, I brought it with me, and I hate getting out from in front of the camera because it makes it look like I'm doing something nasty, and maybe I am, but I'm gonna go grab my little F-15 because it's kind of funny what happened.
No, I'm gonna do the same now. Yeah. I don't care. I know.
So y'all didn't know you was getting that. So the front cone of, I mean, this thing's been broken so many times, and I leave it that way. Someone offered me a new one, and I was like, no, man, I'm keeping this thing. Because all those wrinkles, those are all like where this thing has broken and been glued back together with hot glue. This thing has like 14 pounds of hot glue in it. You just can't tell. It just looks like. And I've got the front to it here. And it's all like jacked up and bent. But I think that's funny. The front of my F-15 is all bent and jacked up. But what made me mad, I wasn't really mad, it's hard to get me mad, is I took this up there and they wouldn't let the pilots hand launch their own planes. It had to be hand launched by someone else, by their spotter or whoever. Man, So I find somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I can hand launch that thing, no problem. They grab it like this with their hands over the over the exhaust and just kind of, just give it a little oomph. And like it can't build thrust with your hands over the exhaust, man. Get your hands out the way, fool. And it goes, it tries to go and it ends up just kind of smacking down in the grass. And it was fine after that one. Second guy comes up and, I don't know where these people, like they claim to have these planes. And yeah, I can hand toss it. And it just whoosh right down into the ground. Nose breaks off. But it just looks like this, and I'm like, that's fine. So I take the little foam thing, stick it in my pocket. And Dave's RC, who is my personal hand toss. Like if I can't hand toss myself, I want Dave to be the guy that tosses me off every time. So he comes up like a boss. Like, lobs this thing like a football and we're off to the races, man. And it's a great flight. I do some circuits, I'm doing loops, I'm doing rolls, I'm doing everything that this little F-15 can do. Because it's a sweet little plane. And we get it back down on the ground and, I do like this textbook belly landing and it comes sliding in like right in front of us, like, like Tokyo Drift style, right in front of us. And we're just waiting to go get it. I get it back, only to notice that along with all the other carnage, the front, and you guys may not be able to see it, but there's a big crack-a-lacka in the fuse. Y'all see that? Like, can you see it now? There's a big crack in the fuselage. And I was like, damn. So, I mean, nothing a little bit of hot glue or foam tack or something won't fix. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it was worse than I thought. And that's like the extent of the damage. But I don't even care, man. We were having so much fun that plane could have blown up into a million pieces, and I wouldn't have cared, man. George Watts, that would have been awesome. That's what we need to see is George Watts, like pointing off in the distance, like with the airplane behind him, and like launching that thing like a javelin. Just. Yes, Jackson, that's awesome. Tell Mason, congratulations from all of us here tonight. That's fantastic. Form is everything, George Watts, and keeping your hands out of the dang exhaust. If you put your hands over the exhaust, I don't care how good you think you are at flying a hand-tossed airplane. If you don't let it build up thrust before you throw it out there, it's probably not going to fly very well. Just throwing that out there. Just by my stupid words of not being very wise at all. It's probably not going to fly very well if you don't let it build up thrust before you throw it. Oh, there's Roland. Yeah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Oh, wait, Spencer, were you the first one to put it in? It's okay, man. I'm not bagging on you at all. Because when you threw it, at least it didn't break that time. It broke when the second knucklehead threw it in. What's up, Mickey B? And I mean, I shouldn't have to like tell a grown man how to toss it. Like we should have learned that when we were like 8, maybe even younger. And typically this plane is so yeah, Mickey B, thanks man. This plane is pretty forgiving with how you get it up in the air. Like I mean, the thing that I was kind of surprised about is I saw quite a few people at Jet Jam that had this airplane and the F-16, and they still had the landing gear on it. And I felt like going up to them and been like, hey man, pull that freaking quarter-pound of nasty off your airplane and let it fly like a jet. You know, you leave the landing gear and stuff on there, it creates drag, it adds weight, and the thing just doesn't fly like it could. You know, and I just take this thing, and maybe it's because I just have like a long wingspan between my fingers, but I just grab it like right there, you know, get it up in the air and just kind of whoosh, just toss it up. You know, I don't really do a big throw, but I make sure that it's got enough altitude. So I throw it up, I let it build up 100% thrust where it's trying to fly out of my hand anyway, and just kind of lob it. And it usually goes, you know, right up in the air. And I love those little planes. Both the F-15 and the F-16, man, those are great little planes. Dave's RC, how you doing, buddy? So, even Dave's RC, who seems like he'd be the worst person in the world to hang out with, that guy's pretty cool. Dave's RC is a good fella. And that was a good time. So that was the other thing I was going to mention, right? Is outside of the generosity of you know, the giveaways from Horizon and the giveaways from you know, from HSD. There was another company there that put up a really nice, you know, like $350 EDF, like a custom 80 millimeter, you know, like wound by Jesus EDF. And who else was it? Who else gave away a whole bunch of? I mean, Horizon had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of batteries, receivers, airplanes. You know, almost one of most of the planes in their lineup. They did an A-10, they did a Havoc, they did a. I can't remember if they had an F-16 or not. George Watts, thank you, good sir. All right, y'all. We have a special guest tonight.
I'm not special.
You are special.
I have to change shirts.
We have a special guest joining us tonight. Miss Amy is here. What are you looking at?
I just want to show everybody your.
Everybody's seen it already.
Okay. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Jet Jam thing.
So I got some actual blueberry jam, and whoever made that, thank you.
Did you try it?
Not yet. I'm going to in the morning for breakfast.
Okay. Yeah. What do you have in your mouth?
It's peppermint candy.
Oh, you look like a chipmunk.
It's a peppermint candy.
Your cheeks are sticking out like, hi guys.
Hey. Hi.
So.
Hey, George Watts.
I don't know if Bobby was clearing his hanger out.
Hey, Roach Coach. Hi.
Roach Coach Hellies. Hello, sir.
Hello,
hey, it was good meeting you at Jet Jam.
Hello, Shadow Ops.
And Roland, it was good meeting you as well.
Randy, who I'm gonna murder your last name. Hoofiness?
Puffines.
Huffines. I think I'll be able to.
So.
Hey, Reckham Roy, Wild Bill, Dennis Farley,
It
Joseph
was.
Youngblood, Spencer Keith. Hello.
It was. Yes.
Yeah, I got some chaw in like my grandma used to.
Bang, ding, 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 ding.
Ding.
Ting.
Ting. She didn't really do that, y'all. My great grandmother did, but hello.
So.
Am I deputized?
Of course, man.
What does that mean?
We're married. No, she's a full-on marshal.
Oh, I get it now. That was pretty cute. Hello. Hello, Jermaine. Hello, William. Hello, Mickey. BRC.
Yes, Shadow, that is true.
I can't see real good without my glasses, so like.
That's all right.
It's a little tiny there.
You never wear your glasses.
Yeah, I know. I don't like them. I look like a librarian. I'm not a warden. Oh,
Stop it.
I'm not that kind of wife.
No, it's fine.
Oh, there, I can see everything now.
Oh.
I am happy to have him home. This weekend was horrible. Like, I'm never missing another one of these things. Hi. Yeah, I know, Reckham. I'm pretty jealous.
Yeah, Roach Coach Helly's, you know. So I didn't have much that I could part with other than my time
I want to go with Dave. He didn't
and my help and all that good stuff. So it was a pleasure to help, you know, Dave with his Avanti and help Roach Coach Helly's with their Avanti.
Oh, Dave RC, no.
And helping.
We just have to keep our ships running smoothly. That's
all.
Yeah,
and Bobby K with his IX-12 issues.
Josie Wales? That's a good question. Josie Wales actually, was that not a fictitious character?
With Josie Wales, was
the outlaw Josie Wales in that movie?
Oh, I have no idea. Hello,
wow.
Ricky.
You have no idea?
Mr. Captain Photon, it is good to see you tonight. Thank you for coming.
Howdy, Captain.
Oh, so let me get back to the true generosity, because these people were sponsors, right? No, it's okay. So at the end of, man, what was it? At the end of the day, so George Watts had a couple of kids there with him. They weren't his kids. I think he kidnapped them, but they seemed to be there voluntarily. And apparently they'd been helping him out with a lot of stuff, and one of them had crashed a Havoc earlier during the weekend. And Dave's RC,
that happened.
You know, like, just out of the kindness of his heart, says, you know what? I'm going to take my Avanti and I'm going to give it to that kid who lost his Havoc.
That's awesome.
And just gave it to him. And, like, we all know how generous Dave's RC is anyway. And that hit me in the feels, man.
Oh, you
I almost had a little tear when
that hits me in the feels, dude.
And that was awesome. That was awesome of you, Dave's RC.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that and showing everybody at Jet Jam what this community is all about.
Yeah.
You know, this YouTube family of folks, you know, hanger rats, whatever you want to call us. That was awesome, man.
I'm sorry, but if I saw a kid crash their airplane, I would probably be like, give him.
Yeah, and Dave did, man, and that was awesome.
That's really stand up. That is a stand up guy.
So Dave's RC, like good on you, buddy.
Hey, Jeff and Lower Alabama. Hello, Mr. George Watts.
Yeah, I was going to sign it to George Watts because I set up all the electronics in it, but I didn't. It's not my plane to sign.
No.
So that was pretty cool. The second thing I saw, the second act of kindness, was
Another act of kindness. I'm interested. Tell me
So,
more.
at the end of the day, Ryan Ramsey, Pilot Ryan, Private Ryan, whatever you're going to call him
Pilot
that day. George, that means that they probably shouldn't fly it. It needs some tweaks. I'll tell you that. So that it was either later that day or on. It was Saturday because Ryan had to leave Saturday. So Phone Boy RC was there, and Ryan gave his 64 millimeter twin A10 to Phone Boy RC, his E-Flight, with everything in it, ready to go.
Oh, cool.
You know, bind and fly ready, receiver, everything set up, ready to go. Phone Boy RC, if you ever see this, and Ryan, kudos to you, man. That was
Go,
awesome.
Ryan.
That's
awesome.
know, a second act of kindness. And then at the end of all of the big giveaways that they were doing, Dave's RC goes up and like whispers something in the dude's ear who's got the microphone. And after they're done giving away everything, they say, and Dave's RC from Dave's RC YouTube channel, they were giving away an Arrows MiG-29. And it ended up going to Spencer Keith.
Go, Spencer.
And Spencer Keith gave it to me. And I was like, what?
What? Spencer, really?
So now I have an Arrows MiG-29 that unfortunately is ripped apart right now because that's what I do with new airplanes. But
Thank you.
To both Dave's RC and Spencer Keith.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Dave's RC, thank you for putting that up for for the raffle, and Spencer Keith, thank you, sir, as well, for being so generous. Spencer already had one,
Yeah,
so he let me have it, and now I have this MiG-29 that I wanted anyway, and kind of in my state of joblessness, I've been kind of in RC limbo. So
Yeah,
I haven't
that's
been
true.
buying airplanes.
But it's getting closer.
And this was one that I wanted, and I was like, I'm going to get that as soon as I get a job. And now I don't have to. And that's awesome, man. So thank you, Spencer.
Oh, I also want to say to whoever sent me 2 loaves of bread.
That was Spencer, too.
And 2 packages of hamburger buns. Awesome. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it until my mom told me I could freeze it, so...
Until your mom told you that you could make banana pudding out of it. Banana pudding. Banana.
You don't make banana pudding.
Bread pudding.
Bread?
You make bread pudding out of bread.
I don't like that. I don't like bread pudding.
Yeah, man. It was awesome. So, just the generosity going around, the friendship all around that field, the camaraderie, the amount of help that people were willing to offer, and some great piloting, some not so great piloting. I was kind of surprised to see how many folks were there.
To just watch?
Well, number one, yeah, to just watch.
Spectators.
And there was a lot of folks that were there that were flying planes that were way beyond their level, but they were having fun. And I loved it. I loved watching it.
I agree with Spencer Keith. The whole thing is what we should all strive to be for. Yeah, I agree with that. Spencer, if we had more of that going around, there'd be a lot less hate in the world.
Yeah, it was good times,
each other
man.
like that on a daily basis. That would be good. Coach Helly, I think he said he was going to step off for a second. So if he doesn't say hello back, he said that was why.
What just happened?
Roach Coach Helly had to step away for a minute. So he said if anyone says hello to him, he'll be back soon. Hi, Dennis Farley. I probably already said hi to all of y'all. Hey, Dave's RC. Shadow Wops Captain Photon. Oops.
Don't sing songs for him.
I'm sorry, why?
That guy's a turd.
I'm sure you're
I'm
joking.
kidding, Ricky. So Ricky's the one that sent me the watch.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yes.
Hey, Bobby K, what up?
What up, Bobby K? Hey,
Raven
it was
Marina, hello.
so Bobby K is cool. Bobby K is the guy that you would like a lot.
Bobby K, we need to become friends.
We're going to everywhere that Bobby K is gonna be.
Bobby K is my new best friend. You just don't know it yet.
I'm sorry you settled.
I didn't settle. I actually had to fight for this one, believe it or not.
Bit go Bobby. Yes, sir.
Bit go Bobby and the
So
hissy.
Bobby K,
Bobby
also a
K.
wonderful dude. Everybody, man, just the whole crowd. It was just a great weekend.
So if we do we know what weekend this is happening next year so that we all can try to be able to plan to go?
Not yet, but without like saying anything that's not
Correct.
not for me to say.
Yeah.
I'll just say for now that you may see Bobby K at a lot more events.
I'm going to Joe Knoll.
You may
in
see
October.
Bobby K at a lot more events. Dude, Dave's RC, he gave you the whole plane and probably meant to get you the transmitter too.
I'm not it.
What? He was probably just trying to dump off the whole thing.
I don't know. We ended up with a lot of beer too. Like,
you left your boxers in my Jeep too. That's funny.
it says boxes.
Boxers.
Okay, so like, if any of you guys, wives or ladies want to come, I was thinking about if somebody, if the ladies wanted to go in and we could split a hotel room, we could just go there and shower and like get pretty and stuff. So
Bobby says you can keep his boxers too. Yeah, Dave.
You can have them as a souvenir.
Dave, that's the true memento.
Dave did get a tan. It's just we gotta even it out.
So I got this crazy tan. Like I got like crazy farmer's tan, dude. Look at this. Like they make you wear shirts, and I got this crazy racing stripe.
Of course you're gonna wear a shirt.
I've got like like hyper white, and then Indian.
And then like where his lanyard was on the back, there's like this one little stripe.
I know. I got
cover.
I added 5 horsepower, dude.
Hey, why is there a ninja on your thingy?
George Watts.
I can't. What did it say?
So, Reckham, we were at Jet Jam, and it's not like I could walk around.
Hey, it's Pride Week. It's Pride Month, so the pink tank would have been good.
I don't remember what the hell I wore on Saturday.
If it's in June next year, I'll bring like a pair of fairy wings or something.
I think it's around the same time every year. Isn't that right? Isn't it around the same time every year for those that have been more than once?
Yeah, if I'd had like another week to prepare and find somebody to watch my dogs, then I would have come. Yeah, Reckham, I got in the pool today and he didn't. I was waiting all day for him to get in the pool.
So today I've been working on this MiG-29 trying to get it ready because I'm programming an AR-636 for it. I did the front strut mod, which, by the way, Dave...
George Watts, if you find out anything before, let us know.
We just have to keep an eye on the field's website.
Yeah.
So I did
if we find out, we'll...
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm like invading your show. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I want.
Matthew, please say your last name. Please show me how to pronounce your last name. I think we went through this before. Shalowski? Is that right?
Committed. Bobby committed.
Dave's been pregnant with my child for like 10 years now.
We did other things, Shadow. We don't always do that in the pool. What?
Oh, no. That, yeah.
We don't.
Today was a fun morning. Let's just put that
What?
right.
Stop it.
What?
We don't talk about Fight Club.
It was a fun day. Thank you, George Watts. I really appreciate that. So I said it right, Matthew? I'm sorry. I'm not good with pronouncing.
Bobby committed. Bobby
committed.
commitment.
Commitment.
So anyway, that was a fun time. Yeah, and we're gonna try to go to more of these things now that I've been to one.
The coconut oil.
And I did go to like the Jolly Good Fly-In, but we didn't fly at the Jolly Good
Was that
Fly-In.
the one in
That's the
Dalton?
one we went up to Dalton.
Oh man, that one was just hot.
It was hot,
It was
dude.
so.
Yeah, the Jolly Good Fly-In was like blazing. Like it was like 150 degrees in the shade.
No, it was seriously like it was literally 101 or 2 degrees.
Yeah, that was freaking hot. And I mean it was cool, but it was hot.
Got a
There was a lot of great planes
behind me right now. Almost set to get dropping flying. Cool.
Let's see, what else?
Shilowski.
Oh,
Shilowski.
so
Shilowski. Gotcha.
what I'll tell you is
you.
there were a lot of awards given away to folks at the end of the thing at the end of Jet Jam. And two of the planes that we kind of highlighted in our live shows ended up winning. Yeah, they ended up winning two great, two of the higher prizes. So like the scale finish, so best looking scale plane was that B-1 bomber that I showed you guys. Man, that thing was awesome.
Oh, do they have like a judging contest?
Yeah. And that's why, like this F-18, I mean, this is this F-18, like this is the paint scheme that Free Wing gives you, so it's not that impressive and wouldn't have won any scale competitions. But next year I'm bringing the heat. I just paid the last, I just got to go pick up the F-18 from Dustin now. It's paid for. I just need to go get it.
We'll ride it there whenever it's convenient for him.
Like tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I have to do some work stuff tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't want you to go anywhere else without me. It was horrible being alone.
It's okay.
Like, I forgot how terrible it was. I don't like it.
So, that B-1, I didn't actually go and look at it that hard. It definitely had two nacelles with what looked like two exhausts.
Jeff, where are you from? Jeff TJ5. Still 91 degrees at 8 p.m.
But I think it may have only had one EDF in each one of those nacelles.
Cool, Matthew.
So I don't know, I don't know if George or Bobby K or anyone else that was there saw in more detail what was going on with that B-1. But I did not see what motors they were running on it. The other plane that I had taken some footage of was a very nice, very scale looking, just a beautiful plane. It was a DC-10 that was done up in the UPS livery.
Oh, you showed me a picture of that.
Yeah, and that thing won like the best in show. I mean, that was awesome.
It was pretty big. Like it was sitting on like an entire table, kind of like this, but maybe bigger.
Yeah, and George, I think that they were running two EDFs in there. I think they had one EDF in each nacelle. I don't think they were actually running three. The DC-10, I also think was only running two EDFs, and the nacelle on the vertical stabilizer was not being used for anything. Oh, look at that. Bobby K, 205 millimeter EDFs in the B-1. An electric ducted fan. So it's the jet motor, the actual little jet motor that's in there. It's an electric ducted fan.
Electric ducted fan.
That's what EDF stands for.
Okay.
We're learning, Amy, some aeroplane terminology from the RC world.
He's
ding, 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 ding.
At least I'm not
What?
city boy.
Shut up. Yeah, so George Watts is just confirming that
Did anyone film the B1?
I did get a video of that B1 flying. I got a video of the DC-10 flying, and both are great. I'll tell you
Joseph Youngblood, yeah, I do it sometimes just to scare him.
the most exciting airliner flying I saw all weekend was Bobby K with his AL-37, dressed up in the Navy P-8 Poseidon livery. Was flying it like a scale P-8 pilot would. Right off the deck, high bank, high G angles, and he even gave us some late night inverted passes with the AL-37.
Ooh, cool.
Who gives a crap about scale? If you can fly it inverted, that's scale.
He has a 120 millimeter EDF A10 kit waiting for wood, designed around the gearback spans. It has a 135 millimeter nice wood. Hey, Mary Boozer.
Yes.
Hi, Boozers.
So the Merry Boozers, they have an event coming up in early November.
Okay.
The Merry Boozer fly-in down in Florida.
We're at in Florida.
Florida? I don't know, somewhere near Tampa and Orlando. Isn't that right, Mr. Wesley? Isn't your fly-in
late November?
It's late November? I thought it was early November. Okay. So anyway, what days in November is it? Do you happen to know the dates?
Lakeland,
Florida.
Okay. That's when your parents are moving.
That's convenient.
Right? We'll be staying at his parents' house then.
Okay, so my birthday is November 16th.
Yes, your birthday is November 16th.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, Bobby K's all about coming down to Florida in November.
Bobby K, you and me got to talk. You and I have to talk. That's it.
Amy will be your best friend at all these events. You and Adam will have a new best friend at all these events. We're going to have it at the villages.
There will be
That'd
something
be awesome.
in it for you because I don't know anybody here. The villages, how many days? 7-hour ride for you. So I do about 6.5 hours and it's not bad. Anything over 8 hours is like kind of tough, but I'm used to driving.
So a couple of other events that we're probably going to be, I can tell you with a high level of certainty that we will be at every Jonal ever that happens from here on out. We were going to go this year, but unfortunately, as you guys all know, Jonal got canceled.
We were still going to.
There's 2 Jonal events every year.
So are they going to do the one in the fall still?
Yeah, there's one in the beginning of the summer, and there's one in the fall, like Null in the fall.
Do you think that they'll limit like capacity because?
Oh, I don't know, but Null in the fall this year should be an event not to be missed if you can make it, because the original Jonal didn't happen.
Mr. Watt says Sandros 54 most events are listed in the AMA magazine.
Oh, that's good to know, George, because I was fixing to answer that, and I was going to answer with a big fat oh.
So we get that magazine. I guess I need to start.
Yeah, we do get the Model Aviation magazine. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be going. As long as it's probably like on the East Coast.
36 hours.
And like Neffy is probably a little further than I want to go. Like
where?
I really don't want to drive more than like 12 hours to get to an event.
I'm sorry. Where is it at?
Neffy is in Muncie, Indiana, which is the top part of Indiana by the Great Lakes.
I mean, if there's 2 of us.
Elizabeth, Indiana was all the way on the south side of Indiana.
Yeah, but listen, if there's 2 of us, then we could split. I don't know.
And the other thing is, like,
I
once
hope
we have
before-
2 people, like, we have to get a bigger car
That's
to
what I
take
was
this
fixing
stuff
to
in.
say. We've got to next year. We have to trade in and get.
We got to
something
trade
bigger.
in. Like, we're gonna get a bigger freaking car
We're gonna trade in
just
the
to
other
haul
car and
airplanes
pay it
around
off.
in because we're idiots.
Well, no, I mean this is something that we both. I enjoy watching y'all do this, and also don't have like I want. It's interesting to make a new set of friends that all are kind of the same.
Oh, that's true. Bobby K says we have plenty of planes to fly. So we don't even have to bring airplanes. We just have to bring our
You don't
bottoms.
want me to fly anything right now.
Ryan's got planes you can fly. We'll bring a trainer.
I'm not flying anyone else's plane.
We'll bring the little UMX Timber. You
I
can
will
get that
fly
on an
that.
airplane.
I'll fly it because if I break it, then it's all on me. A small trailer, I was thinking about that too, but you need something to pull it with.
Rent an RV. Mike, we're not renting an RV, dude. That's ridiculous.
I'd rather stay in the tent. Like, I like to camp, but I definitely like to have shower facilities too.
Yeah, now, for those of you guys that would probably say something like, oh man, sleeping in tents is terrible.
Like, I will pay you if I can use the shower in your hotel room once a day.
Like, here's the deal, man. The tent I have is pretty epic. And we have like an epic air mattress that goes into the epic tent. And,
a van would be probably the best thing to do.
We're pretty happy with camping out.
Yeah, I love camping. Lakeland is a 17-hour drive for Jeremy. You could fly. Well, yeah, I guess you could fly. You could. Well, I don't know.
There you go. So the AMA field. I mean, Bobby, we're not going to be able to make it up to Neffy this year. I mean, there's just not enough time to plan for that, especially with Neffy and Jet Jam being so close to each other.
Yeah, I have to board my dogs in right now. They're really booked up because everybody's going to Florida and stuff for the summer, and I won't just leave them anywhere. So. Yeah, for future events, I would think about renting a van.
And that's the other thing is like Joe Knoll has, shower facilities and restrooms and stuff like that. That
I was saying if anybody's girlfriend or wife wants to go on with me, like on a hotel room, cheap hotel room next year, we could just like go there and
see. My wife has already told me that if I were to ever buy a van, and it doesn't matter what kind of van, if it's a minivan, a conversion van, a cargo van, like any van is a no-go. Like, she would divorce me instantly. I'm pretty sure if I brought a van home.
No, I wouldn't. I don't understand why. If you're gonna buy a van, why don't you just get an SUV?
Because vans are cheaper than SUVs by a lot.
Not if we got one like Donna has. You can get new car.
Donna's is a piece of crap. There's no way.
Its purpose.
There's no we can't fit that many planes. So the only way that we could get away with it with something like Donna's got is if we had a trailer
or something.
No.
Those things drink gas like I don't know what. We could get a Buick. What are those?
No.
Things?
So either a truck, like a pickup truck with a camper top.
Well, you can put the thing over it, like just the bed cover. You can put all your planes back there.
The camper top, and you can have like 2 layers of planes.
I don't want it to look all like ghetto-fied.
How does a camper top look ghetto-fied? You have the wrong idea of what a camper top is. So she thinks that like a camper top is one of them big stupid looking things. No, a camper top is just any of the tops that you put over the back of a pickup truck. That's not like a flat tonneau cover.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Like a camper top makes it look more like a full-size SUV.
Gotcha. And it's the same color.
It's the same paint job. Okay. Yes. So see, Wreckham Roy has an 04 Tahoe, and he can put 10 airplanes in it.
Wait, he has a Tahoe?
Yeah.
Why not a Tahoe? What's wrong with the Tahoe?
Nothing's wrong with the Tahoe.
Exactly.
The stabbing wagon.
Ford Freestyle.
There you go.
How...
Ford Freestyle. That thing's a little weird looking, Ryan.
I've never seen one of those.
I got to have a real truck.
You can beat them up for me.
It almost looks like a Subaru Outback. Man, if my wife makes me buy a Ford Freestyle, I'm spanking you the next time I see you.
Yeah, you know what I really like? I like the Mazda SUV.
Yeah, see?
I do.
Mary Boozer is saying I am not ever buying an Aztec either. Y'all need to stop saying the names of like the ugliest cars in God's creation.
Okay, you can't tell me that that's not pretty.
Sure it is, but you gotta think of like it's the utility of that sport utility is not one that would suit us well.
Why don't we just get like a Jeep thing?
These airplanes are not as small as they look, especially when you try to start jamming them in a car.
I know.
See, a GMC Savannah utility van.
We just get a Jeep like Jennifer has.
That's a $67,000 truck.
She only paid $40 for hers.
She did not.
$48.
She lied.
Oh, okay. It says we have to get a brand new one.
We don't have to get a brand new one. We're absolutely not getting a brand new one.
I like hers though. I like driving hers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only thing that's weird about it is when you stop at like a stop sign, it'll cut off. But when you touch the gas, it like starts up again. I don't really like that. I think that you can
see, Miss Boozer, Lori knows what's up. Lori Boozer. She knows what's up. Vans are ugly as sin.
Yeah.
And you know,
Mrs. Boozer.
sometimes aesthetics go a long way. And I get it. I get that you're $6,500 all in. You know, with the Dodge Grand Caravan.
With a trailer hitch.
But
Dodge Stratus, is that a car? That's a car.
A Dodge Stratus is a car. If I could afford a C5 Galaxy, and all of this stuff, this is all airplane related.
Hertz is selling their inventory.
So I don't feel bad. Hertz is always selling their inventory.
CX-5 is, I love the CX-5 Gearback. I do. I think it's gorgeous. I also like the Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, of course. Everybody likes Jeep Grand Cherokees.
But Nissan has this SUV, maybe a crossover that I kind of like too. But they've gotten a little expensive on their stuff over there. Nobody will steal
Tim
it,
Tuton,
right?
good to see you, man.
Hi, Tim. Old Chevy, yeah.
He's got a Chrysler Pacifica, and my dad used to have a Pacifica, and that's like,
it still runs too. That thing is.
That's gone.
Donna has it.
No, the Pacifica's gone.
I know, but Donna had it for a little while.
No.
Why was it parked at her driveway?
I don't know.
Anyway, they sold it or something, or gave it to charity.
I think they gave it up for charity. Yeah, for charity.
A Rogue Sport's kind of cool looking.
See, here are people that have the right idea. These are small cars. They barely have more room than a car.
Let's just buy a semi.
You need a real truck.
Okay, let's just buy a truck.
With room to haul stuff.
I love the Grand Jeep Cherokee. Jeep Grand Cherokee. My best friend has
yes.
One.
Barry Campbell.
You could rent one of those little U-Haul things.
No way, man. I am not renting a freaking U-Haul.
Or just buy one of those little trailer thing.
Yeah, Goodiac, I have seen what you get in the Mazda 6. And here's the deal, right?
I love the Mazda. I love driving Mazdas.
Yeah, we need a truck, not like a car that looked like somebody took an air compressor to it and like blew the car up a little bit. Like we need a truck.
I have a lot of friends that have
that's already a big truck, and then they turned that big truck like a Tahoe is like
Like the truck
a
on
big
that
Silverado
movie Twister.
that has been turned into an SUV.
Remember that movie Twister? Where they had the Dodge truck and then it had the camper. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I'm alright with that. Now that that's cleared up.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
A quad cab pickup
with a camper
Suburban
top.
earlier.
In fact, Bobby K has a quad cab Silverado with a camper top, and he can haul a trailer.
And that's a Chevy?
Yeah.
I like Chevys better than I do Ford.
Awesome. So we're going to be all right.
Okay. Yeah, and you can sleep in the Tahoe. But I mean, my tent's cool, and I have a nice air mattress, though.
We do have a cool tent.
We need to buy a generator. Because I do have, like, little fans.
We can get a generator. We can get a generator.
We need one anyway, because we left ours in Huey.
Wee.
Yeah, it was too heavy. I didn't want to pay for it to be shipped. Buick Roadmaster. Ah! Isn't that the car from Vacation?
It might be.
No, wait. He says it's a 96.
That doesn't matter.
For 46, right? You could have like 18 minivans.
Right. And, Wesley's going to keep
Bubble
churching. So, listen, Pearl Jam.
How hot was it? Oh, cool. I get it. Pearl Jam.
The at night at Jet Jams, yeah, sure. It was like 90 during the day, but at night.
And then the other parts, like baby shit green. I mean, baby pink.
Yeah.
Right, so
at night, it was getting down to like the 60s. So sleeping in that tent was awesome.
That's nothing.
I like it to be nice and cool. And yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, if you'd have gone in there and tried to like take a nap during the day, you'd have been freaking frying. But at night,
the humidity bad?
No, it was just hot. But yeah, I mean, it was like 61, 62 at night, and that was freaking beautiful, dude.
Is there not any like shade trees or nothing? Sorry, I got pulled away. Oh no. They probably got
freaking Australians.
The no, I mean I've seen
losing the stuff and trying to get in New Zealand.
News where people have been like robbing UPS trucks and freight trucks, like stuff. Hi.
Yep. Now, one of the things, it was horrible in that tank.
Listen, I live with that. Last night, it was so bad that I wanted to roll him off the bed completely. I went downstairs for a while, and I finally passed out after. Now,
I'll tell you, one minivan that I actually wouldn't mind having is like a Honda Odyssey. Those look decent.
I don't even know what that looks like.
They look decent, and they're kind of long, so they've got I would assume that they've got a lot of room in them to stick planes. You are such a baby. Good God.
He wants someone to put him in the movies.
Put me on the camera. Put me up there on the camera.
I can't do that. Like, I like to talk and stuff. I'll sit there and talk his ear off, and he'll be like,
I probably do.
I don't blame you, dude.
He locked himself
100% know what it's like to sleep beside him, because I do it every night.
He wasn't sleeping beside me, dude.
You can hear you.
See,
downstairs.
look. He has a Honda Odyssey, 2005, plenty of room.
Cool.
And on the Honda Odyssey, do the seats like
he does
fold
have
down?
Sleep apnea. I've tried. He will not go to the doctor.
Do the seats fold down like flat, or do they just come out, or how do they work?
I'm gonna make him an appointment to try to get a sleep study.
Sleep study.
And he's gonna have to wear a CPAP, I'm sure. His mom has it really bad too. I know, it scares the crap out of me, Jackson. It really does.
Right. So if we have the middle seats and the rear seats removed, I mean, we've almost got like a box truck.
Ryan, yeah, it's the humidity more for me. When we moved back from Hawaii, the humidity just like to kill me that first summer. I have recorded him. I have. I will record. I'm telling you, one night it was so bad that the dogs were like jumping off the bed and going into another room. And I keep telling him he needs to go and get the CPAP thing.
What a stretch wrap. Oh. we definitely need to have
Why?
that. So, all of us were wide awake at like 8 in the morning. And Ryan is still like passed out in his car, like.
When I go camping, I get up super early too.
And we were gonna take.
You were gonna saran wrap his car.
We don't need a track hawk. All you people are terrible. So everybody that's like suggesting minivans or drag trucks, y'all are bad. So Ryan was sleeping in his car, and we were gonna take.
Yeah, Boozer, we didn't even ask, can we come?
So, can we come?
Well, you just like invited yourself.
To the fly-in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go. Everybody's invited.
He doesn't saw log. He builds entire condos in his sleep. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, how did your bunkmates sleep at night with that going on?
Everybody did it. Look, when you're so tired that you just pass out, it doesn't matter. You can't hear it once you're sleeping.
Oh, I can hear it. This is why I don't get sleep. I don't sleep good. And I don't take naps during the day very, very much.
So, Ryan, what we were going to do is Roland had, or at least he said that he had, like a big industrial size pack, like an industrial size roll of saran wrap, like they used to wrap pallets.
Have you never seen anybody do that? Or like,
and
it's
we
like
were
a prank.
We were maybe gonna wrap
the entire vehicle with it.
We were maybe gonna wrap your car
like
with
the food
saran
service
wrap.
Size saran wraps, and you have to like cut that crap off, and it takes forever. It's really terrible. I've actually seen it done a couple of times.
But
shadow ops, yeah. Like he needs a CPAP. But like they make you do a sleep study where you have to stay overnight. Bye, Wild Bill. Have a good night. And then I don't know. I think you can do it at CVS though too.
Channel 6 Flap says he would help, but at the end of the day,
God, that's from oxygen.
We would have poked holes in it, dude. We weren't gonna let you die.
That's kind of dangerous though, because even if you turn the air on, all the carbon dioxide would be going.
We weren't gonna do any. Look, I'm smart enough and know enough about ventilation systems. I would have never let Ryan die.
I know that.
Like that would have been awful. That we would never let that happen.
Yeah, sleep studies do suck. But I think you can go to CVS and do like just a regular appointment, and that you can get your equipment and all that there. But I'm pretty sure that he probably wouldn't wear it unless I made him. But I just don't want him to die in his sleep and me not know what's going on.
We don't hate you. We love you, man.
No,
it's a prank, not a death wish.
I wouldn't let anybody, I would be like, no, y'all can't do that.
Oh, that's terrible.
It would be awful. I don't want Ryan to die. I don't want anybody to die.
We don't want anybody to die.
Oh, Sandra's 54. Good luck. It'll be alright. It's just kind of really hard to go to sleep when you're not like at home and people are watching you.
But at the end of the
It's
day,
worth it though, probably.
my understanding is that there were people. So I was in the shade of the tent, sitting in my big chair, because I brought like this big, like, lounge chair where the feet like go out, and you can just lounge on it. And I had set it up in the shade of the sun, and I had leaned back, and I was passed out, and I may have been snoring.
May have been.
I may have been snoring.
I know 100% without a doubt that he was snoring.
Yeah, I may have been snoring in this chair, and apparently there were nefarious people that would.
Shadow ups, that could be what's going on with him. I don't know. Like, I've never heard anybody snore like that. Like, not even my. I don't really know if I've known anybody ever that snored before you. I don't think I have.
See, this guy has a sleep Saturday coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
So when I.
Right, call it right in there and get rid of that.
So when I was sleeping in my little lounge chair, I was outside, sitting in the shadow of the tent. So like the sun is coming down, and here's the big tent, and my little chair is in the shadow, and I'm leaned back and I'm sleeping. And I think there were a couple of nefarious people with a Sharpie that may have wanted to draw the male genitalia on my face. And Ryan stopped them.
Ryan, you're such a good person.
Or at least made the suggestion that he wouldn't appreciate it if someone did that to him. So
thank you, Ryan.
So thanks, Ryan.
I told him to watch out.
And at the end of the day, I remembered that, and I was like, I can't wrap his car in saran wrap anyway.
No, because I would have kicked you in the butt.
He was gonna black mark her.
She snores even with her CPAP. Oh man. I know like some people wake up with a sore throat because of it, and I can see why. I don't know if I snore or not, do
I? Snore off.
Y'all can have a snore off. We'd have to record you guys and see like who gets the loudest.
I don't think there's any such thing.
Yeah, no,
I don't think there's any such thing as like non-permanent marker when it's on skin.
What about like you could just get like a black Crayola marker?
No, like the washable like water-based colors that you could just wash off really easy. That would be cool.
But not a permanent marker.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ryan.
Even a dry erase marker, when you get it on yourself, it's not like that thing just wipes off. Like a dry erase board is made for dry erase markers. If you put dry erase marker on anything else, it's a problem. That's why Ryan didn't want to. Freaking Dave's RC.
I'm telling you, I know.
Freaking Dave's RC is adamant about me being the king snoring fool.
He is, and it's really scary because I don't know if it's like health hazard. I mean, it could be sleep apnea. Or it could be a deviated septum. I don't know. Did you do a lot of cocaine when you were younger?
Me?
Yeah.
I've never done cocaine.
Have you ever broke your nose?
Never. Yes.
You have?
Once.
No, it could be that too.
But I don't have any problems breathing. Captain Mike says he dies in his sleep.
He has choked up like one time and it scared the crap out of me. And I was just like, ah! And he woke up.
Yeah, I woke up and was like, what the hell?
But I'm not getting much sleep. I never, unless I go to bed like an hour before him, I won't sleep.
See, and here we are talking about like going to shows, and then it just devolves into me snoring a lot.
He doesn't use like, regular how does that cream, even though. Happen? It's like how do you think I feel? Scary. It is scary because he like. I don't understand. Like I so think if your lungs hurt in the morning, you walk the line.
Yeah, I always feel great in the morning. The only thing that hurts in the morning when I wake up is usually my back. you know, and I gotta like roll out of bed or my neck or something, but my lungs feel fine.
It really is scary though sometimes.
It's only scary to everybody else.
No, I mean, like,
To me, it's fine.
he doesn't even realize he does it.
Look at that. New vitamins made Gooniac stop snoring. We'll have to try that
what kind
out.
of batteries? I'm trying to read.
And yours, I guess, and anybody who
Ew.
has to be in a tent around us.
Goody, can you share what that is? Like
Uh-oh.
text message or something? Yeah. Okay.
There you go, Ryan.
When the Lord wants me, he can.
There you go.
I feel that way too, but I don't want him to go before me because I'm just like selfish.
So I'll tell you, you know.
Quaaludes? I don't think those are You can't.
I don't think you can still get Quaaludes, man. I think that was like a 70s thing, dude. You're totally giving up like how old you are.
No, they stopped making Quaaludes in the late 70s, early 80s. LSD. I know people that microdose LSD, and it can cure addiction and alcoholism, anxiety. It can make you like more aware, more active during the day. I don't really.
That could be true.
Okay. What?
And I enjoy rubbing the dog more than the dog does. Whatever. This is the happiest dog ever.
He loves his daddy too. That's his person.
So
no smacking the dog's butt.
The dog likes to have his butt spanked.
He loves that. He loves to have his butt spanked. I don't know why.
So, anyway, we were originally talking about cars, and the whole point of all of this, guys, of us talking about all this stuff, is we're trying to find ways where we can start going to more of these shows, because I went to one, and now I got to go to as many as I can every year. So we got to figure out a transportation method that will allow us to get to more of these events and be able to take dogs and more airplanes and
yeah, I don't bring like a lot of.
I'll tell you, like Jet Jam, I might be okay. Like I'll probably still go to Jet Jam every year.
Me neither. Dave's RC. No, they can keep all that crap.
But I don't like the idea. Chuck G, what's up? I don't particularly like the idea of being limited to flying jets only.
Private jet.
I mean, jets only is cool.
Even if I won the lottery, I don't think I would buy a private jet.
No.
But I call you Christy O'Roy.
Yep.
You can't do that. That's funny. Colorado would be cool. I've never been to Colorado before. Oh, Dave's RC's wife is going.
Dave, you're definitely invited to come down to the Boozers.
You need to ask somebody first. I don't know how this goes.
They're fly-ins. You register for it.
Oh, okay.
It's not by invitation.
Well, I would love to meet other wifeys because I just have not
yeah,
really
so
made friends here.
If Dave's wife goes and Mrs. Boozer is there and Amy comes, we'll have all kinds of fancy folks. So yeah, I want to go to a fly-in where
other girls don't like me.
Shut up. Where I can have jets and I can have prop planes and I can have warbirds and I can have
Rusty.
You know, sport planes and whatever. You know, that was the only part of Jet Jam. And I mean, you know, going in that it's EDF Jet Jam, so that's why it really didn't bother me that much. But I want to go to some of these that have like a lot of variety too.
Sometimes I just get really tired of
Oh,
being.
look at that.
What?
John T has been asked to go to Null, but it won't be in the next 24 months. Was supposed to be in the U.S. for 6 weeks next year around this time. Oh yeah, no air travel for sure. So yeah, I mean Jet Jam is around this time.
Oh, see, some of the military is on. They can't travel 100 miles from their.
Right. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
that
Joe
kind of
Knoll
sucks.
is that's definitely one that we're gonna start coming to regularly.
Channel
George
6
Watts.
folks, where do you live? You've never been out of your home.
Are the Boozers still in here? Are we gonna be able to fly anything we want at the Mary Boozer fly-in?
There's a Warbird event in July in Bellingham, Washington. Oh, that's a long way away.
Yeah, Washington is a little too far out for me, man. That's the other side of the country. That would take days.
Yeah, and I'm not getting on an airplane right now.
Yep, so for now, I would think that we would like to do the Jolly Good
That's cool, Dave's
fly-in,
RC.
Jet
I love to
Jam.
meet people that can be real around and not have to be like. I'm not really girly girl. I'm not like this. Not me.
The Boozer fly-in is in Lakeland, Florida.
So, I wouldn't mind taking a road trip if I knew where, if I had it planned out and knew where to stop along the way. Because there's a lot of stuff out west I would like to
Yeah,
see.
but that's a long road trip. Like
I know.
days of driving.
I would like
Days
to
of
see the Grand
driving.
Canyon and the, some stuff up that way.
All right, Shadow. See you then. Good night, man.
Mulberry, Florida.
Mulberry.
Night,
So
guys.
I think the events we're gonna try to go to this year. I don't know when Seth is. I'll have to check it out. But we'll probably try to go to that. We'll try to go to Null in the fall, and we'll try to hit the Mary Boozer fly in November.
Yep. And with that being said, I'm going to go respond to a phone call
What phone call?
from Jennifer. I
You
don't
were
get to
just
talk
talking
to
to
her.
her.
I know, but she had to let me go because Jace locked her out of the house, and she just
Can
got home from work. Yeah, I can.
thank you.
I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Oh yeah, Dave RC. I bet y'all had a great time. Right, I'll be right back with your soda.
Dude.
Come on, buddy.
Yes, I agree with Dave's RC. So Amy's going to be stepping away. I agree with Dave's RC. I have not laughed that hard in months. It was one of those like once or twice a year laughs where your insides are about to come out your mouth and you're like, you can't breathe and you feel like you're going to die because you were laughing so hard. Ryan flying this 3D plane on real flight, whatever version. I don't even know what version we were flying. We were using like the old school Futaba controller before they switched it from a Futaba controller to Tactic. So this was like Real Flight. The controller is from like Real Flight 7 or Real Flight 6. But my God, the freaking this dude busts out this laptop. Ryan gets on the sticks, and I don't think that he would have enjoyed it if any of us had actually caught him on tape. But my God, It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen because this dude was like flying the crap out of this plane. And people are like, oh, write your name in the sky. And he's doing it. And he's like dancing with like, dude, it was the funniest thing ever. I was crying, laughing so hard. It was excellent entertainment, and and the like you never get to see him fly and stuff like that, but man, it was funny. Oh, two-stepping, freaking the running man was. I mean, there were so many dance steps happening. You'd never seen that many dance steps. I really hope they didn't have any security cams over there, dude, because they might be sending the police to my house. And dude, the other thing that was so freaking entertaining about it is like his chops in a 3D plane. I don't even think he knew what he was doing. But this plane was like I mean, he's just wagging the tail of the plane across the ground, doing crazy. I mean, it was excellent, excellent flying, and I don't even think he realized how great the 3D show was. Because I don't even know if he was watching the screen, to be honest with you, man. He couldn't have been. His whole body was moving everywhere. It was crazy. Like next time we're putting glow sticks all over him. The next time we do this, we're turning out all the lights and we're just recording the glow sticks moving around while Ryan flies real flight. Oh man. So anyway, you know, the reason I bring all this stuff up and what I want to kind of, you know, uh, just leave with you guys is that more so than just the RC aviation hobby, but the community that we have within these Facebook groups, you know, that was amazing. That was amazing to get to meet these guys, to get to hang out with these guys. If you think like it was awesome. It's like we were all a bunch of long lost friends that just found each other all of a sudden, and uh, and we never skipped a beat. Like, hey, we're all here. Let's party. It was a great time to be had by all, and what I wanted to, you know, kind of start mentioning is that everybody that has the means should try to make it to these shows, and I would love to be able to start going to more of them and being able to hang out with you guys, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a year. Um, that was awesome. That was just a great experience, and I am sure that we'd be able to have just as much fun, if not more, every time we get together, man. It was awesome. So it really was, Bobby K. That was awesome. Um, uh, I wouldn't trade that experience for nothing. It was a great time, and we got to fly planes. You know, the parts of that whole trip that you know that made the most memories for me had nothing to do with flying airplanes. It was getting to spend time with the people who watched this show. The people that I was helping with. I mean, it was kind of surreal too. Um, everybody gets to watch us on these videos do and talk about whatever. Hey, I'm going to talk about Spectrum stuff. And I think that there's some um, that it all becomes much more real, and much more approachable when you see that person really working on this stuff. If that makes sense, when you see like Dave, the Spectrum guy, putting an AR-637 into Dave's RC's Avanti, and then everyone's like, well, how does this work? How does this work? And all of a sudden you've got this crowd of people and they're like, hey, you're that guy on YouTube. And it's like, I am, dude. And I'm just a regular old guy, just like the rest of you. And I like to drink beer and do other things. And we're down there and come hang out tonight. And it was awesome, man. It's just awesome. Yep. Yep. Everybody that was there. Yeah, yeah. And like helping Bobby Keith, who used to hate his IX-12, and now he thinks his IX-12 is badass because Spectrum couldn't help him, but Dave can. Dave's the Dave, the IX-12 guy. I can help you, man. I can help you make this radio worth having. That was awesome, dude. See, and Dave's RC, he don't even know. Uh, these bitches know I wasn't always drunk. I didn't even really drink that much. I probably drank more than everybody else, but I don't think I drank more than 6 a night. I mean, there were other things happening where I only had to drink 6 beers a night. Oh, man. It was a good time, guys. So listen, I want to encourage everybody that's able to come out and hang out with us. I mean, you won't meet a finer group of people. It was nothing but a great, great time. We had a great time. Adam was cooking up like crazy, crazy pork butt things, pork loin. What? Dude, it was all good. Everything. It was all awesome. Um, so listen, like I was saying, if you have the ability, if you've got the means to get to one of these shows, come hang out with us. It was awesome. The fellowship is awesome. The friendship is awesome. The food is awesome. I mean, and you're going to make a lot more memories than just going and flying planes, guys. It's not just about flying the planes. The whole thing is great. So do it and bring your wife because we're gonna have it. It was really good. It was really good. So at I want to kind of give a bit of a sneak preview of what we're going to be talking about next week. What is next week? Okay. No, these were standard like 12-ounce cans, John T. I mean, I really wasn't drinking that much. um, I was just having a good time, man. I was just having a good time. I really didn't need to get like hammered drunk. And by the end of the day, man, I mean, we were so tired. We were getting up at like 7 in the morning, flying till about 10 o'clock. And that's when we'd like light up the evening festivities. And we were so stupid. Like, I don't think I went to bed. I mean, we got like 3 hours of sleep a night. It sucked. Yeah, Spencer's the man. I mean, it really was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy and awesome, and it was totally worth going. Everybody should try to make at least one trip. I mean, we should all try to, come up with, I know that not everybody can make every fly in, but if there was one fly in that we could all say, like all the big YouTube people are going to be, I mean, even the small YouTube people, but like a big, you know, I don't even know what you'd call it. Like the rat's nest or something. Like we need to have one fly in that like all the people that do these live shows, everybody comes to this one every year. And then we all go to whatever other ones we go to also. But there's one big one that we all show up to and make it like the premier, you know, the premier awesome fly-in of the year for flying anything you want and having a dang good time while you're doing it. I just have no idea where we'd fit it in. We don't know yet, Kenny. I mean, Null did not get canceled till like a month before the event. So I think that they're probably waiting, I would say they're probably going to wait till like August to let us know if Null in the Fall is really going to happen. But it seems like, with Joe Null, they waited until it would have been grossly irresponsible to say, okay, it's canceled. They waited until the last minute when they could reasonably cancel it to actually cancel it. I think that they still plan to do it. We're gonna take over Wesley's fly-in. Well, Channel 6, where is yours? Because the other thing is location. So we gotta figure out where everybody's at, figure out how far people are willing to go, and pick a central location where everybody can actually make it and and be able to spend some quality time together. Captain Photon, I think it's because the people at Jet Jam, they seem like the kind of folks that don't care about disease. I'm kidding. Um, but there is something weird happening somewhere. I can hear something weird happening in the house. But anyway, um, yeah, if we can pull that off, that'd be awesome, and have like the one big shebang a year, where like yeah, Joe Knoll is huge and it's awesome, but it's a big cluster. I mean, that's a huge, huge event. Just one where we just get to come and hang out and have fun, and it's like a party. It's not like, you know, it's almost like it's by invitation, not by registration. Like this is for the people that this is the hanger rats fly-in, man. Like the people that come to this are the people that make the YouTube show, this YouTube live show community. And that would be awesome. And the people that come into the chat say, how do I get in? And I'm like, let me write down your name. You're in, done. Like freaking you know, like we hand out wrenches. Like everybody with a wrench is invited. If you show up and you ain't got no wrench, get the F out. So, next week on the show, we're going to be talking about my new favorite EDF jet. And just so y'all know, my favorite EDF jet is always the next one. So my new favorite EDF jet, the Arrows MiG-29, and I want to thank both Dave's RC and Spencer Keith for help making that happen. I've already, started digging into this little thing a little bit. I didn't like the way the wires were laid out on the inside, so I ripped them all out. I ripped out the front landing gear so I could do the Pilot Ryan 1/4-inch spacer mod. I ripped off the XT90 because I don't use those stupid things anyway, and I soldered in an EC5. And I've already started programming the AR636 that I'm gonna throw in there, and I'm certain that this was sent to me by one of the people who watches the show. I don't know exactly which one this is, but for all you folks that sent me AR636s, thank you so much. I now have a receiver that I can throw into the MiG-29, and it's going to fly awesome. And that's going to be the highlight of the show next week, is the Arrows MiG-29. I hope to be able to go out and get that thing maiden sometime this week, and get the AS3X stuff all tuned up, and really get it flying well, so I can come back on the show next week and give you guys all my thoughts about it, because it's a great plane. I got to see quite a few of them flying during Jet Jam, and what I want to say is, at all of the planes that were flying around at Jet Jam, I got to see a lot of crashes. A lot. Like I said, there's about $10,000, at least $10,000 of worth of foam airplanes annihilated at Jet Jam. And we showed you that in one of the live streams. We went to like the foam EDF graveyard, which was the dumpster. We're like, oh my God, and inside the dumpster we're looking at like at least 2 free wing F-15s, a free wing F-18, a free wing F-22, maybe 2 of them, and Arctic camo, one of the 70mm free wing F-16s, just shredded. I mean, all these planes are annihilated. I mean, that was probably $2,000 worth of airplanes just right there. It was bad. But here's what I wanted to say is, I don't think I saw any of and there were quite a few of them, of the Arrows MiG-29s. I didn't see any MiG-29s crashing. I don't even think I saw a MiG-29 come close to crashing. And I don't know if it's because the Arrows airplanes are, because they're not that popular, and the only people that know about them are people that are, kind of more experienced pilots. Yeah, like Bobby K, for example. I mean, he took his pile of F-14 home with him. Yeah, there was an FMS Scorpion that died. I remember seeing that one. But I don't remember seeing any of the MiG-29s crash. This one probably will, because I'm flying it. But for the most part, the MiG-29s, I mean, I'll tell you what, that's a great looking airplane. It looks great in the air. It's got great air presence. It seems to have a great it's got a really good power to weight ratio. It doesn't seem underpowered at all. It carries its weight well. Um, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it on Monday. I'm going to try to definitely get some flights in on it. I've got a couple of different batteries that I'm going to try. I've got a 3300 6S pack and some 4000 6S packs. I know that what I'm hearing is that like 3300s is the sweet spot. I may try to get some 3300s here before the end of the week so I can try those out too. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I find out because I dig it. Yep. Now, are people, are there like little, are there 64 millimeter in runner EDF units available now? Because I'd be interested. Cool, Ray. I'd like to see all the opinions on it because I think for right now, I mean, it's. Let me go grab it because I want to kind of show it to you. and and try not to pay. Don't pay too much attention to all the wires and guts and stuff hanging out of the bottom. That's just the entrails, and I have everything kind of separated so it'll be easy to route it back up in there. But this airplane, I know that it's a twin 64 millimeter, right? And I think that the problem with calling it a twin 64 millimeter is that it kind of diminishes the size of the model. It's about the same size as the 80 millimeter Avanti S. And, I can't say that it's got the same like flight performance as an Avanti S as far as speed goes, but it's got it does have a great power to weight ratio and it's got a good size to it. It's not like a little tiny 64 millimeter plane. It's a good sized plane. And after doing, the little 1/4 inch spacer, I can definitely tell that I've got a lot more, that front landing gear is nowhere near as loosey goosey as it was before. So I don't expect it to be bouncing around on the runway. And overall, I'm real tickled with the looks. I think it's a great looking airplane. I love this paint scheme, and kind of the little bird thing that they've got going on. And the other thing that's really cool is, and again, excuse the mess of the wires, but that little bird design is on the bottom of the plane too. So it's real easy to keep the orientation, but you've kind of got that same bird on both the top and the bottom. So either way you have it going, like in a tight, like a corkscrew style aileron roll, you get this really cool effect where the bird, on the plane is still there, and you just see the plane moving around, but the bird is always there. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. And you've got like the bird with a red background, bird with a white background, and it's just neat looking. It's neat looking. This plane carries itself very well, and it's definitely worth a look. And we're gonna be getting, a lot more up close and personal with it next week. Once I've got everything set up and we get it flying, it's gonna be neat to see. Yeah, the battery compartment is definitely tight. And that was one of the reasons that I've got all of the stuff ripped out. So they give you a pretty small spot up here. Sorry, I'm ripping this Velcro out. Whoever put that there. I don't mount my receivers with Velcro. So they give you like this little tunnel, right here that goes back into that big cavity that goes all the way down the wings. I mean, and they give you a lot of room there in that little valley between the between your EDFs to run all your cabling, which is awesome. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that on EDFs before, and I wish that more manufacturers would would kind of take note. I think that that's fantastic. But I just pulled everything out of there, and I'm going to redress all of the cabling coming up into here, where I basically just got the receiver sitting up on this shelf, and it'll, if I can get it further back there and be able to open up, like take that foam out right there. And actually that's not a good idea, because that's where the retract is mounted. I was just looking at that. Like, the retract is mounted right there, so you can't really get the battery any further back than that shelf. So they just don't give you a lot of room to put like a big battery pack. But at least from what Ryan has been saying, you really don't want to go any more than like a 4,000 anyway, and a 3,200. Hey, sorry if things froze up on you. OBS is acting strange. So, anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're gonna go ahead and get running here. I'm gonna do our standard weekly rundown of all the cool things happening in the YouTube world. So of course, on Monday nights we have the RC Air Marshal Mondays at 8 o'clock. At 10:15 Eastern PM time, I believe it's 7:15 Pacific, is Gooniac's show, where Ray teaches you new things about electronics and EDFs and all things RC. So be sure to tune in to Gooniac's show right after this one at 10:15. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Tuesday is Flight Club. That's FLIGHT, with Jeff's Custom RC and Raven Rock Machine and Aviation. Our man Dustin, aka Skippy, aka whatever you want to call him this week. They've always got new stuff happening. And they've always got really cool guests on their show. So be sure to tune into them every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday, we've got the doubleheader with Ethan RC and Channel 6 Flaps. Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're not. But Ethan RC puts on his show. I believe he starts it up at either, I think he starts it at like 8 o'clock. And that is followed up by GB Linden's Hump Day RC at 9:30 Eastern Time. When Thursday at 9 o'clock, we have Hangar 51, who puts on the Thursday night RC marathon, which leads right into Dave's RC on Fridays. I'm just kidding. It doesn't really lead into Dave's RC, but Kenny and his marathon shows can definitely go and go and go. And, you know, as long as people are still engaged in conversation with Kenny, Kenny will engage in conversation with you, and he will talk to you about anything you want to talk about. And he's a super nice guy. Unless you get him talking about transmitters, just don't do it. If you want it to go till 4 o'clock the next afternoon, start talking to him about transmitters. He can just go on about transmitters forever. But we love Kenny. Friday night, we've got Dave's RC. And Dave's RC is the man. Be sure to check him out. Got to meet him this weekend. Great dude. He may seem like he's crazy. He's even more crazy in real life. You guys would love him. And sometimes other folks are going live right before Dave's RC. Sometimes it's Farmer Man. Sometimes it's Colin Clohan. Sometimes it's Jackson's RC Aviation. You never know, but watch your notifications for all these guys, because sometimes we just go live out of the blue. Saturday night, we all know Pilot Ryan and the RC Pilots Lounge every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Sundays, we've got at 8 p.m. the Mary Boozer RC channel every Sunday night, which is always a great show. This past Sunday, for their 3,000 subscriber mark, they gave away an awesome E-Flight F4. And you never know when they're doing stuff like that, guys. So, I mean, these shows are awesome, and they're great ways to build up your RC collection, because when we do giveaways now, man, everybody jumps in. I mean, these giveaways that we do, when they happen, they're few and far between. But, you know, every probably like 2-3 times a year, we're doing these awesome giveaways. So, you know, it's worth watching. And what else are you going to do at night? You know, watch movies, watch TV, watch news that's just depressing? Come on down and watch your favorite RC guys talk about the things that you actually want to hear about, instead of, you know, COVID-19 and riots and racial wars and stupid crap. Man, let's talk about something fun. Because I'm tired of the news. I'm dog tired of the news. Yeah, watch us, because it's more entertaining, and those guys suck. The news sucks right now. Yeah, all these RC YouTube guys are awesome, and I'm on YouTube also. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this Monday. You know, if I seem like I'm still a little bit incoherent, it's because I might still be. You know, long drive yesterday, but it was totally worth it. You know, and the last night at Jet Jam, it looked like the weather was going to be pretty nasty in the morning, so I went ahead and packed up the tent and everything Saturday. Well, really, it was like Sunday at like 1 in the morning. I was like, I better get up and do this now. And then I ended up, you know, getting all the stuff like packed up and put in the car. And at like 3 o'clock when I was done, I was like, well, I'm not even going to bother leaving now. I'm just going to go ahead and try to sleep in the car. And I did till like 9 in the morning. And I'm in like a Toyota Camry, like curled up in a ball in the driver's seat with my head on a pillow laying up against an ice chest in the passenger seat. And man, I was packed in there like a sardine, and I slept for like 8 hours. So, eh, I was a little cramped up the next morning, and I'm feeling a little under the weather, like my voice is going, But hey, anything from the RC community, man, I will always be here every Monday, and it's awesome to see you guys tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. I think we had like 60 or 70 people in the show at one point tonight, and that's awesome. Thank you guys for still coming. Now that the whole Jet Jam thing is over, we can get back to like regularly scheduled stuff, and I can start, I can finally finish up this AR637 series. And we're going to start playing around with the MiG-29, and we're going to start doing more fun stuff on the channel. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Oh man, Wreckham, dude, that thing was awesome. I think someone did give us the COVID-19, Dave. Are you feeling sick too? Did we give each other COVID-19 when we were, doing that funky stuff in the tent that one night? We might have gave each other the freaking corona. Dude, they said that I could get corona from like sneezing on other people's faces. They didn't say anything about sneezing on butts. Anyway, y'all have a great night. I appreciate you guys coming out, and I look forward every week to doing this, and I hope you guys look forward to coming to the show every week. Look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll have the arrows, MiG-29 all up in your face. Until then, you guys have an excellent week. I hope everybody got some great flying in this past weekend, and we will see you all next Monday. Thanks for watching, guys.